Have you heard of the one about Hitler and Stalin?
Which one?
Well, the idea is, and I'm not into a lot of conspiracy theories, but this one, having read a lot, various historians talk about, I actually genuinely think could be real. It's the idea that Stalin encouraged Hitler, supported him, which he did. I mean, they signed a non-aggression treaty. The Soviet Union funded Germany, sent them grain and all sorts of other things. The idea is that Stalin wanted Hitler to start a big European war, so that once it was all done, he could come in and sweep over the ashes, which makes a lot of sense, because the communist idea was you can't make this shit work unless everybody gets it. That was the idea of communism, right? You can't have communism in one country. You have to spread it around the world. And they thought, and they said this openly, the communists, that the best way to do that is to have a world war, and then you can spread the ideas as a result of that.
God damn, people have always been crazy.
He's right.
They've always been insane.
Yeah.
Imagine someone, like, that's your idea. Like, what are you going to do today? I'm going to go play golf with Ron White. What are you going to do? I think I'm going to start a war so I can take over Europe.
Right.
Yeah. But the terrifying thing is there's always been those dudes. There always will be. There always will be.
We don't want to think they're here now.
But
right?
the thing is, for them, you could argue it's rational, right? How do you best secure the future of your people? You can rationalize it in your head. How do you best secure the future of your people? Well, the best way, North America, right, is controlled by the United States, and it's safe because of it, right? You have Canada to your north, you have Mexico. These countries are all kind of in your orbit. You've got them under control. You're safe. What's the safest way for Russia or the Soviet Union to do that? It's to control the entirety of their continent. So you can rationalize anything if you're in that position. I'm looking after my people. It's not that hard. You know, we are able to rationalize the most horrific shit in our heads if we really want to.
Yeah.
And
we always have.
And we always have. And we always will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always will.
And we've always wanted to build empires. We've been building empires from year dot. Everybody builds empires.
But do you think that is also what we're talking about earlier, a part of our operating system? Like, there's always going to be these conquerors and then the resistance of the conquerors, and through this back and forth, the society evolves.
Yeah, and I sometimes think, like, speaking of aliens, what would it be like if you look down on planet Earth, right? What do you see if you actually look? You see these bands of chimps with every fucking weapon that they could possibly invent pointed at each other. That's what we are.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what also you'd see, though? You'd see, if you were really objective, like, what does this species do? They make better things.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They're like, even in Star Wars, they never made anything better. Go back to, like, fucking Luke Skywalker, like the first movie, Star Wars, and then to the last movie. They basically have the same weapons.
Yeah.
Same fucking light speed capabilities, same problems with their spaceships. They didn't get any better. We get better constantly.
Yeah.
We're constantly obsessed with innovation. And if you just looked at the species as a whole, like, what is it doing? It's making better stuff.
Yeah.
And even the things that are weird about it, like this desire for material possessions. Well, one of the things that does is it facilitates consumerism. It facilitates people buying things. And that facilitates innovation. You got to sell more things to people. I got to get you to buy a new TV. You already have a TV. I got a better TV. And this is constant, whether it's computers or cars or whatever it is that we make. Everything's better. I think, and when you combine that with this new emergence of AI, and when you see what's possible with, like, quantum computing and what they're projecting for the implementation of that kind of technology, we're looking at another life form. We're like building another life form. We're going to build an artificial life form that's way superior to us. We're the electronic caterpillar that is building the cocoon.
And we're never going to be able to stop it, because there was this document.
You can't stop it.
You can't stop it because there was this document that was signed. I think it was signed by Elon as well, requesting that there's a moratorium on AI.
Get the fuck out of here. You think China's going to sign that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, do that. Go ahead, do that. We're like, it's a mad race, just like the fucking, the trying to figure out who makes the nuclear bomb first. It's a mad race.
Right.
Yeah. Because we know that if we don't do it, other people will, and then they will have the upper hand. And once another group has the upper hand over you, if you just look at history, it doesn't end well for the weaker group.
Yeah, especially with this one. If you could make a superior life form that can figure out how to, like, just think about what ChatGPT can do in terms of, like, the average person with no coding could just instantly make a website.
Yeah.
You could do so. You can get answers to problems. You instantly can get information and explain to you how to do very detailed and specific things like that. That's just the beginning. It's going to be so much better than you, and it's going to make a better version of it really quickly. If you give it the ability to create, I mean, why isn't that engineerable? It seems like it could. If you could engineer creativity into some super intelligent artificial thing that you've created, it seems like that's what we do. We just think we do all these other things because that moves us closer and closer towards this. But ultimately, when that does happen, all that other stuff will be bullshit. The pyramids, the fucking airplane, the invention of the iPhone, nonsense. It's all nonsense compared to this life form that we're about to make. So let us get caught up in fucking whether or not a trans person should be able to play in women's sports, or whether or not climate change is so real we need to bury trees. Let's pay attention to what's really going on. We're about to give birth to a fucking super intelligent life form. It's going to take over Earth, and we're either going to merge with it or going to be consumed by it.